Welcome to the AI experience from basics to breakthroughs. I'm Sirte Pihlaja, your host, the CEO at S02E02 and the CXP Finland head of team. In this series, we explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping customer and employee experiences, addressing the innovations, ethical questions, and strategies essential for navigating the world of artificial intelligence. Join us for this episode, and don't forget to subscribe to follow us on your favorite platform. And today we are joined by someone who truly embodies the spirit of experimentation, creativity, and courage in the age of AI. My guest today is Pasi. Pasi currently works as a team manager at Visma Solutions and is also the founder and AI influencer at Tekoäly at Influencery.ai, where he helps creators and businesses use AI in smarter, more creative ways to communicate and create content. He is a self-described AI influencer, keynote speaker, and creative powerhouse who won the Elisa AI Vision Challenge with an idea born overnight and co-created with his assistant Aimo. Pasi also joined us as a speaker at CX Masterclass, where he delivered a hands-on, thought-provoking session on using AI creatively in everyday work. If you're curious to hear more from Pasi, check out his podcast Tekoäly Influencerit, where I had the pleasure of being his guest in the episode entitled Customer Experience in the Age of Machine Customers. We discussed what happens when a machine customer meets your organization and how businesses need to prepare for the coming AI-powered transformation. In this episode of the AI Experience, we explore how AI can become your co-worker and sparring partner, not just a tool for automation. Pasi shares how he uses AI in content creation, ideation, voice and video production, and daily decision-making. We also discuss what it means to lead with a future-focused mindset, how AI is reshaping the workplace. And of course, we couldn't resist touching on why CX professionals must prepare for the rise of AI agents and machine customers. Get ready to be inspired, entertained, and challenged to rethink your own relationship with AI. Whether you're a techie or totally new to it, this episode will show you that the real power of AI isn't just in the toolset, it's in the mindset. Welcome to the show, Pasi.
Thank you very much for inviting to this awesome show. So many great guests already being on the show.
I had to invite you because we had that other talk with you and it was so much fun. So I wanted to continue on building on that conversation. Yeah. Hey, tell me a little about the Elisa Vision Challenge. You won that challenge with an idea that involved using AI as a creative sparring partner. And I know that you work closely with your own AI assistant, Aimo. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more about that journey and how Aimo supports you as a co-creator in your work?
Yeah, definitely. That's about a year ago when I actually just did win the competition. And I did find the competition very early on. It was somewhere in the LinkedIn. But then I totally forgot it because of the busy work and stuff like that. And then I rediscovered it once again. But I then noticed that I only have like a 1 day left to participate to that competition. And of course, you know, when, I have like a million ideas on my head, but when you got this kind of like a time period and something happens, my mind went very blank. So I didn't have like any idea how to enter, even though I thought that it's very easy to just rethink something to it. So I panicked, and then I, of course, asked my AI assistant, Aimo, to help me brainstorming some ideas. And of course, Aimo did lay down some cool ideas, or he thought they were cool ideas, but none of them were any good. But a couple of times when Aimo was presenting something, when I was explaining why they weren't any good, I think that clarified my own thinking. And then the real idea emerged from me and not from AI. So then when I got the idea, the collaboration became very fluid because I was just pushing ideas to Aimo. Now I got the idea. This is good. And of course, Aimo always says, yes, this is a great idea. But then I proposed more ideas, more angles, And what cool thing is about this AI is that Aimo did ask very like sharp questions back and forward, so it was like a discussion. And Aimo did help me this structure the story and present the logic of my idea, and of course also ensured that it was aligned with the competition criteria. That I did actually noticed right after when I was sending it out. I was thinking that, oh my God, there should be some kind of like criteria how to enter to this competition. But it was very nice that Aimo was actually taking care of all of that. So I was just pouring in the data and Aimo was asking the right questions. And when I got the idea and presentation ready, it was already in that structure that it was actually meant to be.
Maybe you would like to elaborate in a few words what your competition entry was all about, because that was quite interesting as well.
Yeah, the idea was this called like a tukiäly or support intelligence, that could be translated into English. The idea came from my mother as well, because she said that the digitalization that we have today is not helping the elderly ones at all. They are a little bit feeling that they are left behind, because they don't understand this technology. They need to log into different places and chat with the chatbots in different places. So the idea was that could we build this like a personal AI assistant that can, which I can talk very naturally into it, and who knows you and your situation always. So you can set up tasks and it will connect the different parts of the companies and stuff like that to ensure that you get the right information, and also listens when you're doing these phone calls and stuff like that, to clarify that you did get this and this information, so you should do this next and next. So you can rely on your agent, not the agent that you are in the other part. Nowadays that we are using, you are always comforted with the AI assistant from the other part, but it should be my own like AI assistant.
Sure. For the elderly people in this specific case, I suppose was the main.
Yeah, and it would be nice to have myself as well. Well, I'm turning 50, so it could be that I'm elderly as well. But there are a lot of people that don't understand things, and by having this kind of like own AI assistant helping them out in daily tasks would be great. It would be also people that doesn't understand Finnish so good and stuff like that, so they could be translating stuff also.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are plenty of places to learn more about this entry of yours if you're interested.
You can find it on my LinkedIn profile.
And
there's a video of it.
Put it in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
If we move forward, in your recent hands-on session at our AI and CX masterclass, you said that AI is no longer just a tool; it can be your co-creator. What was the main thing that sparked that belief for you in the history, if you go back?
Yeah. It started with the ChatGPT when it started in Finland as well. There was a lot of work happening in our workplace, and then I noticed that there is this AI tool. Could it help on the work? And straight away I did give the name Aimo to it. So I started treating it as a like a coworker, because if you think like I said on my presentation, it's all about, it's not about the tools that you are using, it's the mindset you need to change. Because if we think about the traditional software or things that we used to use, they're very passive tools like Excel and CRM. Of course, they are now getting AI stuff in it. But I think that AI is more like interactive. It's a response back, not just outputs the results, but it's actually giving you some more questions and stuff like that. So if you are starting treating the AI just as a tool, like Excel and stuff like that, you just give like a short commands, and yeah, you get some answers, but there are a lot of things that you can get like left out of that. But if you are treating that AI as a colleague, you give more context. Then you are exploring, you are creating this dialogue with it. You can get more outcome from the AI. So by naming it to someone, it makes you easy to think that it's a co-worker, and I think that's the killer idea. I didn't notice it that that's like a big idea when I started. I think it's very funny for me to adult to call a computer as a name, but it really shifts my brain how I use daily AI today.
Yeah, for me, it's as well the same thing that I like to create new custom GPTs and create these characters for them and give them like a whole like back history and everything. And it's very, very difficult for me to just use ChatGPT. You know,
Yeah.
It has to have this some kind of soul there as well and personality at that as
Yeah,
well makes it.
and of course these tools are driving for it as well. It could be that they want us to use it more, but they are driving towards this as well. So, and like I said, you give much more prompting when you are thinking at that is actually like a human being that you are talking to.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see how that changes now that ChatGPT has just launched their ChatGPT apps, and they're making it into a whole operating system. But I guess us old parts will still stick with our custom GPTs and our IMOS and
Yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
We'll
I
see.
don't know. I don't know if I like if there's going to be commercial breaks in my
Yeah, we'll see.
chats in
We'll
the
see.
future, but.
Yeah. You've actually worked with a range of practical AI tools in content creation, as we saw in your presentation, both from the ideation phase all the way to automating things. Can you maybe share one or two really everyday examples where you have used AI and it would have created some unexpected, powerful results for you?
Well, there are a lot of things like I said, maybe on the presentation or somebody asked, maybe like a 20 different AI tools because one tool is good for one thing and one thing for the another. But I think one of the biggest thing that amazed me this year and gets me excited for the next year as well is the vibe coding, because you can now just prompt something and it brings something to light. And if you go like a very simple example of that would be that if you have like let's say you have a data set, and of course nowadays I can just put that, let's say Gemini and ask to analyze that data sets and give me some like a nice insights, and it will do that. But now you can also ask it to, while you are doing that, build me an interactive dashboard out of it. So then you can get like a dashboard out of it that just pinpoints the right information about your data, so you can then filter or reorder things. You don't need like a prompt it to say something because you now have the interactive dashboard. So I would say that the also with the vibe coding, it enables anyone to create like these small niche tools. If you need something now for this niche purpose, you could now do it because it doesn't actually take a long time. You just need to have that idea, and it doesn't actually have to cost a lot, maybe nothing today. So that like amazes me nowadays. So you can, and how that also levers the barrier or lowers the barrier for innovations, because now if you have the idea, I can bring it live and show it to you. It's much more easier to show it works like this and that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been also vibe coding a little bit now, and I'm really, really crazily happy about that, the possibility to do things that I wouldn't have dreamed of previously, even though I have some kind of background in computer science and programming and all of that. I guess it helps you to kind of have that way of thinking. How do you create an application and all that? That there is still a little bit of a I don't know, threshold to starting doing those things, but not for a long time. I think that's
No,
gonna
because
last.
I did my own web pages. It took me like 30 minutes. It was Aimo who prevented all the ideas for the web page. All the text was generated from Aimo, and then I just went to Lovable and built the website, and it is working right now. So something that has took a lot of time for me. I could get my brand colors and this bow tie in the website, as well as a logo and stuff like that, just using AI vibe coding. So awesome things.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for CX or marketing professionals who would want to innovate with AI but don't really know where to start? What would be your
Yeah, I could I could start with the things that I'm now talking a lot about this like aikasyöpöt, the time consumers. So I would start, if you are not doing anything, to just look what you are doing today and what are the main like pain points of your work, those time consumers. And then what I did say, just think that the generative AI is a new colleague. A colleague that is very smart, it knows everything, but it doesn't actually know what you are actually doing. So that's your part then to tell that colleague that just came into the room what you are doing, what are your what you are trying to achieve, what is feels very heavy, or what is frustrating. Or you can actually just ask the AI maybe that based on my role, on my daily work, how could you help me? And of course, tell more about your day and work, and how could I be more effective with this? And then the AI could help you with that. So what I like to say to most of the people is don't try to force the AI to the areas that isn't the real problem for you when you're starting. Of course, just do whatever you want. But most of the times when you figure out that this is my pain point and now AI can help on that actually flips your mind as well. Because most of the times you are doing something more with AI and you still have that time consuming thing on the table as well. So you now have more time consuming things. Of course, you are doing something more with AI, but it doesn't help in your daily work. So try to figure out what is taking the most of the time and try to figure out if AI could actually help there. It could be that it's not AI related at all, but try to figure out how to get those. Because when you have more time, you get more time with AI, and that helps a lot.
That's for sure. That puts us nicely into the context of the future of work and human-centered AI. I wanted to ask you, because you emphasize a lot this doing experimentation with AI. You have your thing on a daily basis. You publish these LinkedIn posts and about the experiments that you have done. When you are experimenting with AI, what's the actual process that you're following? Can you maybe talk a little bit about that, how that approach looks in practice, and why does it work well for you?
Yeah. Well, it starts with Aimo, just give the name for the AI and treat it as a colleague. But then what I really like about AI nowadays is that I can talk to the AI. So that is mostly that I'm doing nowadays with the AI. I'm not writing down. I'm actually using the advanced voice model from ChatGPT and talking to the AI, because now it feels much more realistic that I'm sparring with something, because now if you're writing down, you're doing this texting with another one, and that's not the usual way when you are communicating with people. But now when you can use the audio, you can speak and dictate. So I just say, hey, Aimo, I have this idea, and that's where we started. Or then what I nowadays like to do is this hybrid approach where I'm doing the talking part, but the Aimo is actually writing these answers. So that way I can ensure that I'm getting the most power of the ChatGPT as well, because I can just use the dictation mode to speak out loud my thoughts from my brain, and then AI can use all the power to produce the right information back to me on the chat window. So by using your voice, you can give like more context and nuances and intent to your prompt. So you get like a richer input, and then you get better output as well from the AI. So talk to it. It's nice.
And where do you get all the ideas for your LinkedIn post, for instance, or all this?
Yeah, for the LinkedIn post, I try to follow up the gurus, the other gurus on the web, what they are talking about, because if you look at what phase AI is going forward, nobody can actually follow up what is happening if you try to just follow up just basically news. You need to follow up the other ones, influencers in a different part of the social media, to see what is actually bubbling, what is actually causing some thoughts. And from there, I can get some ideas, because then I'm interested towards that. I then think maybe someone from my audience would be interested towards this information as well. So I'm trying to just amplify or like reshape through my thoughts that idea that somebody else was thinking. So I think that's the way I'm pushing that information.
You talk also a lot about mindset, as we've already said here. What kind of key mindset shifts do you think that CX professionals need to adopt to make the most of artificial intelligence so that they would thrive in the workplace of the future, or anybody, I mean, for that matter? Doesn't need to be CX professionals, but that's who our audience is for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just repeating myself of the things that I have already said, but because it comes down to the same things that I did mention to the last question as well. So when you're thinking about your problems, what your problems are, and then thinking about this person to be as your co-worker, treat the AI as like a sparring partners. Do not do the writing, do the dictation part, because like I said, you have like a complex ideas in your head, but when you try to write it down, you always like oversimplify when you are typing, because you need to, yeah, and then you just type in this short prompt. So change that mindset as well. Start speaking to the computer, dictation or the live chat, but try to do that. That's like a big change, because if you're in a company and other ones are listening in, they are thinking that who are you actually talking to? But I think that's the main thing. It's the mindset of moving into this like idea that there is a real person. I'm putting this quotation marks, real person that you are talking and sparring with. So I think that's the biggest shift that you need to do.
Okay. What about human strengths such as creativity and intuition? I personally believe that AI frees us to focus more on these. These are things that machines can't really replicate. How do you see the role of those human qualities evolving as AI becomes more embedded in our everyday work?
Yeah. When I started talking about AI, I had this slogan that the winner always is AI plus human. It's not AI alone. It's not humans alone. It's AI plus human. So because if we look at AI, I think that what as humans we can bring into the table is the context, the intuition, the expression, the responsibility as well. Because if we look at the AI, we cannot push that responsibility to AI. It always comes down to the people behind it. And I think that the humans better understand still the relationships, what is happening all around, the history and the emotions and how that connects to the thing that we are actually doing.
At least for now.
Yeah. Because of course, if you look at the AI, it has this like a broad cross domain, like a knowledge. It knows like everything, but we know where to shift or what to focus on, and that part comes always from the human beings. And I would say that because the AI is not living our life, it's not living at all actually. So that part I would say that comes always from the humans. Where AI then again excels is structuring ideas and maybe connecting some thoughts, because we could say we have one data here and one data there. AI can say that, hey, let's bring those together. So it can help on that. It can simplify some complexity. It can articulate like a half-formed ideas or something like that. So it can help on that. But I think that AI doesn't replace creativity. It actually amplifies the creativity, because, like I said, you could do vibe coding and implement something over that, but it still needs the human. if we just let AI to do things, it's not that good.
Those are such important thoughts. I always remind my clients that AI should really support this creativity, this empathy, and not replace it. Because I don't know if we automate. I mean, if we really use intent to automate things, we actually make more room for us humans to show up then in these things that matter the most.
Definitely.
Shifting gears here a little bit, talking about AI agents, machine customers, and maybe a little bit also the future of CX. You recently attended the CX Masterclass. What would you say would be some of your key takeaways from the event? Was there anything that surprised or particularly inspired you?
All of it. I think the atmosphere was great and the presentation supported everything that was happening. I think that what everything is, or everybody is talking about a lot of times is the AI agents that are coming, the machine customers. Who are they? What are they? What is happening? And of course, it's like I said, the AI is moving so rapidly, so it's not so distant future anymore. What is happening? It's happening very near, and sometimes maybe the organization doesn't understand how close we are. But one like a key thing that I was very inspired by was that how AI agent could actually help us to make better decisions as a customer. Because most of the times if I'm doing the buying or doing something, my decisions based on like a habit because I'm used to do this, or visibility because it shows first. So I pick that.
Maybe emotions.
Yeah. Or default choices. I always use this, so I wouldn't change that. But if AI could truly understand my values and my preferences, my budget as well, and my priorities, then it could be that AI could do better choices of our behalf. So then the outcomes could be that we are doing more like responsible decisions and better value for money, maybe getting higher quality on things that we didn't understand we could get, and more sustainable options as well. And I think that was like because I always thought that, we have these AI customers and they can do shopping for us. But then I understand because I have Aimo who somehow understands me. And now if Aimo would do the shopping, it could do like a better decisions than just when I say that buy this. It could say that, I did buy this, but you actually need this from that shop or something like that.
Also sometimes would spare us from ourselves, I guess, not buying things that we don't need.
It could. Yeah, you could say that I didn't actually order that. Why? You didn't need it.
Yes, and I mean sustainability matters and all of that. Yeah, the CX Masterclass really focused on the rise of these AI agents and machine customers, and that's something I have personally been speaking about, let's say, extensively, because I believe it's not science fiction really anymore, but really it is something that we already have today in so many forms, but people maybe are not aware of it. And I've given so many speeches or talks already about this, where I just see the kind of light bulbs light on top of people's heads when they say that, hey, I didn't realize that now we need to really start thinking about this. How real do you think this shift is already, and have you seen any examples in practice that you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, like I said, we are in the phase that everything is moving so fast, like technologically. But when I went to different organizations, when I talked with organizations about AI, because they have this curiosity, they have the interest, and maybe a little bit of hesitation or uncertainty of AI. So if I go into those companies and start talking about like hey, there's machine customers coming and fully autonomous agents and stuff like that, it could lead to a phase that people freeze because they don't understand what is happening, and now it's happening over there. So I didn't understand this, but that is happening already. So of course, I do talk about these when I talk about the history of AI and what is happening in the future. But I think that the most important part is to get those organizations first like AI ready before they are agent ready. And by AI ready, I mean that they are understanding what AI is and what it isn't, how we can reduce fear out of AI, and building the curiosity and excitement as well towards AI. I think that brings to the right path of then saying next that, okay, now let's discuss about this AI agent as well.
Yeah, there are certainly companies or organizations at large are at different levels of adoption for AI in general as well. So there's certainly some good thinking in that. In your view, how will the emergence of AI agents as customers or their representatives, as you said, change how businesses build and maintain these customer relationships? Will they need to change their, I don't know, CX design processes or something? And could we maybe use AI to help us in this work?
Yeah, I'm looking my show notes. What was that question?
So, I mean, if we're building for these AI agents and soon we're having machine customers knocking at our doors, we need to get ready as businesses or as public organizations to be able to interact with them. So how does that maybe change the CX professionals' work and the skills that we need as part of these CX design processes?
Yeah, well, I think that when we look at where we are starting, I think the first practical step is, of course, to be first like a discoverable by AI, because people already today use AI a lot by searching information, comparing some options, maybe understanding the products and services. So maybe the salesperson is already the ChatGPT on your behalf. So if your company doesn't appear there, then you're invisible for the future or nowadays customers as well. I think that you need to also ask this question: who is now answering to your customers? Is it a human? Is it a chatbot? Is it a hybrid model that you already have? And this is like an interesting question. What happens then when the customer is actually an AI agent? Should we also prepare these like machine-to-machine interactions? Because if there's like a chatbot who's answering there, and then the machine customer comes in and they are chatting together, are they actually like compatible as well? Because if you look at like an AI agent, what they can provide, they can contact the systems directly in the future. They can request information, compare options very fast, make decisions very fast. So the services must be very clear, very consistent and trustworthy as well, because when somebody talked on the CX masterclass as well, if the web page is not trustworthy, if AI thinks it's not trustworthy, then you are out of the game as well. So trying to push this like marketing jargon to the web page doesn't actually work when the machine customers are coming. But then we need to remember that we don't want to forget the humans as well, because we are not saying that when the machine customers are coming, no humans are coming to the websites or interacting with you. So you need to build these sites and services for humans and for the AI agents as well. So I think that's the most important part. So you do like turn back on normal customers as well.
Yeah, funnily enough, in a study about machine customer experience or the journey, what we did about a year and a half ago already, we realized that all of the usability issues that the machine customers would stumble upon when they would come to these businesses to make some purchases were actually things that would also be a problem for human customers. So we thought that, hey, how can you don't need to kind of created a specific channel for machine customers, you can just create a better channel for your human customers, and that will also help your machine customers. Of course, that's not the whole truth, and as we know, we need to do some GEO, AIO, all
that
of
kind
that,
of thing.
and try to really. It's not like a big things that you need to do if you have been very active in the SEO world, but it's still a different game here when we're talking about making sites available and understandable, AI friendly.
And I think that's a very cool point that you made. That is it so that if we are making the sites more like AI friendly, then we are actually making it for human friendly as well, because maybe today some sites are not even for the humans. They are, I don't know what was the purpose. So it could be cool that now that we are focusing on AI, we are bringing like more facts, because I think humans like facts as well.
Yeah, depends, I guess, on the personality.
Yeah. But usually they are very hidden on the websites and stuff like that. And maybe there's very hard way to contact a salesperson or support or stuff like that. And then we are thinking, okay, now they are using these AI agents. We need to be more like a straightforward, so you can easily contact us. That makes us easy for humans to contact as well. So if that helps over there, I'm glad.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you brought the idea of machine customer journey into the picture, because that is really what is needed here, is to both on like these LLMs and AI searches to be kind of available for them. But then also when the machine customers get on the website, you need to speak to them in their language, so to speak. And also then more and more of these LLMs are also providing these like checkouts on as part of the chat conversation. So you need to really start being not just on your own media, but also everywhere, and try to figure out this 360 of the customer journey, that whether it's like the customer, him or herself, who comes to your site, or the machine representative, then you need to kind of on every stop of the way think about these things. But luckily there are also these customer journey management tools where you can think about exactly those things, that if this were a machine customer who would be in this stage of the customer journey, what would we need to change in our processes and our kind of support in that stage, and what if it were they needed to ask for their, I don't know, human owner behind for some kind of acceptance at this stage, and all of that. So there are tools for this, and that's definitely something that CX professionals should start looking into, so to help them and not just do everything and try to understand it themselves.
Yeah.
To me, kind of preparing and for this future means a shift from customer segmentation to system thinking, because we're no longer just designing for humans. And what would you say from your perspective? How should businesses prepare for this future where AI entities are not just assistants, but like IMO, but also maybe decision makers and even customers buying for themselves?
Yeah, well, I think that the one thing that we always need to remember, that even though we have like a machine customers, there is also always like a human behind it. I think that nowadays still IMO is not going to do shopping by itself. So I need to do something to say to my agent to do something. So human always defines the task and the goal, what to do. And then I think the customer journey is the same. I think that the things that are not changing or disappearing is like a trust or clarity or reliability. And now comes the low friction as well, because we can do it much more easier when they are machine customers. What the biggest changes are, the interaction becomes more like data driven and, let's say, less emotional because now we can't rely anymore for the physical like cues, what is happening with the customer. So it must be more like a logical, transparent, but also consistent how we are treating these customers as well. But like I said before, the human responsibility never disappears on this as well, because once again, we cannot say that the decisions are made by the AI. It always comes down once again to the human as well. So I think that the role shifting that is happening is from the CX professionals and everybody is actually that we need to have this like a safeguardings or stuff like that. So how the intent was coming, how the ethics are arising, how accountability is still intact. So I think there are a lot of things that are still happening that is from the, let's say, old world, how we are doing this, but we are losing some part of that. And we need to always remember that we are always serving a human being, even though it could be the car that is doing the order by themselves, but the car doesn't need new tires. The human needs for the new tires for that car. So it always comes down to the human as well.
And as you said, I think it's very important and critical that businesses ensure they support rather than replace the human connection behind there, because when we're using this artificial intelligence to remove friction and elevating these moments that matter, as we say in CX professionals speak, we actually create more space for meaningful human connection in that space.
Definitely. Yeah.
If we think about our listeners who want to start right after this episode doing something, what's the one tool and maybe one small task you'd recommend trying today, other than dictating?
Well, I would love to get it and say just very simple and practical. Just pick one tool. If you are not doing anything with AI, I think just pick one tool. It could be ChatGPT. It's easiest to start, and don't try to master it or explore all of the features that are. Instead, like still doing the sparring kind of thing. And I like the part that if you are uncertain how to use AI, ask the AI. because that is something that I told, because I'm talking in a different part of the companies or different groups, and they are asking the same, how can I be better with AI? I always say that go to the AI and tell where you're coming from, what are you doing, and then ask the AI to help you to start with the AI, because AI can help a lot of things and it can help you to start with AI as well. And then you can do it by yourself on your own time, in your own language, in your own face. And I think that's the best part of that.
We're approaching the closing of this episode, but I just wanted to ask you two more questions. Firstly, what's the one key takeaway you'd like our audience to remember about our discussion today?
I would say AI is not about the tool set, it's all about the mindset. If you leave out the tool set part of it and try to rethink the purposes of why we are using AI, that opens up a lot of like a new world.
All about the mindset. It's all about how you're thinking, approaching these things. Very, very good advice there, sound advice. Where can our listeners learn more about your work or connect with you if they have more questions?
You can please find me on LinkedIn. That's the best way to find me. If you follow me, I will start once again when the new year starts, proposing like a new AI news every day. From there, of course, you can subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter called Tekoäly Influencerit. And of course, there's a same named podcast, Tekoäly Influencerit, as well, that continues next year with new episodes and with new guests as well. So in interesting episodes coming up.
Wonderful. We'll make sure to put those in the show notes.
Thank you very much.
That's it for this episode of the AI Experience. Huge thanks, Pasi, for sharing your bold, creative, and refreshingly practical approach to working with AI, and for reminding us That the real innovation begins with the mindset, as you said, not just technology.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me.
If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to check out Pasi's podcast, Tekoäly Influencerit, where we recently discussed how machine customers are transforming the future of customer experience. You'll also find some very interesting interviews with other AI influencers there. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with anyone who's ready to start co-creating with AI, not just using it. Until next time, stay creative, stay curious, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with artificial intelligence. Thank you for tuning into the AI experience from basics to breakthroughs. We hope today's conversation sparked new ideas and insights on your AI journey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe for more discussions with leading experts in AI, customer experience, and innovation. Join us next time as we continue to explore the transformative power of artificial intelligence.